Buenos días y bienvenidos a todos. Good morning and welcome, everyone. Welcome to a community dedicated to providing spiritual tools for living a happy and full life. My name is Karina Shearer, and I am the spiritual director and founding minister here at the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta. If you would like to join us for the live Zoom meeting, please contact me for the link and the password, or check our website, www.cslpv.org, on the weekly talk section. Today is Sunday, May 10th, 2026. Happy Mother's Day. This year, mothers are celebrated on the same day in this year in Canada, United States of America, Australia, and Mexico. In Canada, US, and Australia, it's usually celebrated on the second Sunday of each May, but it's always celebrated on May 10th in Mexico. The last time this occurred on the same day was in 2020, and the next time will be in 2036. So it is uncommon, but not rare. Today, we are continuing with our monthly topic of divine doubt. And the topic for this week is debuting the doubting self. Once again, the suggested book for reading this month is Disciplines of Spirit by Howard Thurman. So at this time, I'd like to once again welcome everyone, including those that are new to our teaching and to our center in Vallarta, whether you are here on the live Zoom meeting or watching the replay at a later time. Here, we teach a philosophy that honors all faith traditions. So whatever path you are on, know that it is the right one for you. We teach the philosophy called Science of Mind. It's a teaching based on new thought and ancient wisdom, where we offer spiritual tools and principles to promote personal growth, and we honor diversity in all aspects. When Dr. Ernest Holmes founded this teaching in the 1920s, he had studied both Eastern and Western spiritual texts in order to create the science of mind, which focuses on the individual use of thoughts and this powerful thing called the mind. When asked to provide a concise definition of the teaching, he had replied that it is a correlation of laws of science, opinions of philosophy, and revelations of religion applied to human needs and aspirations. So each week, we offer a service with an inspirational message. We offer the Zoom meeting at 10 a.m. and meet in person Sundays at noon. And after each service, whether online or in person, hang out with us afterwards and enjoy a cup of coffee and some great conversation with like-minded people. And now let's review our purpose, vision, and mission statements as we do each week. We have a grand purpose here, and that is to awaken and celebrate diversity and to love and serve our community. We do this by means of our vision, creating the life you desire. And this is supported by our mission to provide spiritual tools for personal growth and transformation. So as we have been continuing each week, let's review the spiritual mind treatment for today. And this is taken from May 10th, 2014 of the Creative Thought magazine. So as you may be aware, spiritual mind treatment is always done in first person. So I invite you to gently close your eyes and take these words as your own. God is infinite, omnipotent, unbounded, unlimited, and invincible. I am a particle of God stuff, and I access the powers of nature of God in my daily life. I choose to know completely and accept deeply that my word has power. When I label situations good or bad, I know that I am calling more goodness or more lack into my life. Therefore, I choose to label people as loving, situations as transformative, events as expansive, and myself as a force for love and goodness in the universe. I choose to speak to others the way that I wish to be spoken to, with kindness, respect, with a sense of humor, and with love at the center of my word. With my word, I can call forward to my life all goodness, all prosperity. I speak my word with clarity and strength, and I know that as my word goes out from my heart into the world, that it is creating and aligning boundless abundance and joyful happenings in my day. This is my declaration, and I make it with confidence and wholehearted gratitude and thanksgiving. So I release my powerful word into the law, knowing that it is absolutely and fully manifest in this sacred moment. And so it is. And that was originally submitted by licensed practitioner Jeanette Quinn Bisbee from Rockwood, Ontario. So, what would happen if I debuted my doubting self the way I share my confident self? How might my life and relationship change? As we dive deeper into divine doubt, this week we will consider the ramifications of sharing our personal doubts together and creating communities that hold space for these questioning moments. Ernest Holmes wrote in The Science of Mind and many other uh, books and papers, stating that God in the Bible tells us over and over not to be afraid. God does not, however, tell us not to doubt. While Holmes does not, or pardon me, while Holmes does emphasize the importance of casting doubt in spiritual mind treatment, he also does not tell us that doubt is wrong or inappropriate. In fact, in many ways, doubt is an appropriate response to a confusing world. By sharing our full selves, doubt included, we create communities that uplift and hold one another in all of our human reality. These communities then provide the answer to doubts, not certainty, but active participation in the work of faith. In The Science of Mind, Holmes wrote this: all that we consciously know, say, or think, feel, or believe, hope, or long for, fear, or doubt is some reaction of the self-knowing mind. So, as we explored last week, doubt is not a flaw to be hidden away, but rather a natural part of the range of human thought and emotion, as Ernest Holmes stated. Each of us, in our own ways, wrestles with questions, uncertainty, and longing to understand. Rather than covering up our doubts with a polished facade of certainty, we are invited to lean into them as places of vulnerability, honesty, and authenticity. Doubt, when shared and explored together, becomes a doorway for deeper faith. When we allow space for our questions and acknowledge that we don't yet know, we create an environment of trust in ourselves in one another, and in the unfolding mystery of spirit. As the old adage reminds us, the opposite of faith is not doubt, it's certainty. Certainty leaves no room for growth or mystery, and no room for the evolving revelation of truth. Holmes wrote this: if we are to have an active faith, the faith of God, instead of merely a faith in God, our thought must be centered in universal mind. So false certainty can easily become an idol that we worship, distracting us from the living, breathing nature of true life and true faith. When we cling to certainty, we convince ourselves that we already know all there is to know, that every answer has been found, every question has been settled. Yet we know this is impossible, for life is vast, mysterious, and always unfolding. Certainty closes doors. It leaves no room for wonder, curiosity, or growth. Faith, on the other hand, flourishes when we allow ourselves to live with unanswered questions and unresolved tensions. Doubt, then, is not the enemy of faith, but its nurturement. It calls us into active engagement, deep listening, and a willingness to participate fully rather than passively. In The Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes wrote this: never limit your view of life by any past experience. The possibility of life is inherent within the capacity to imagine what life is, backed by the power to produce this imagery or divine imagination. It is not a question of failing or succeeding. It is simply a question of sticking to an idea until it becomes tangible reality. The illusion is in the way we look at things. And this is a short story from Thich Nhat Hanh in the heart of Buddhist teaching. He wrote, in Buddhism, doubt is not a sin. Doubt is an opportunity to inquire more deeply, to look more carefully. If you suppress your doubt, it will grow stronger. If you embrace it and investigate it, you may discover a deep understanding. The community, the Sangha, is there to support you in this. Alone, doubt can overwhelm us. Together, we can hold it, smile to it, and transform it. So there is balance that is needed. Too little doubt can lead to overconfidence, gullibility, or dogmatism. And too much doubt can lead to paralysis, anxiety, or an inability to commit. Useful doubt is usually curious and constructive, not endless skepticism about everything. And Richard Rohr said this: the times when we meet or reckon with our contradictions are often turning points, opportunities to enter into the deeper mystery of God. So false certainty can easily become the idol that we worship, distracting us from the living, breathing nature of true faith. And when we cling to certainty, we convince ourselves that we already know all there is to know. Seems that I've already read this. When we cling to certainty that every answer has been found, every question settled, yet we know this is impossible, for life is vast, mysterious, and always unfolding. Certainty closes doors. It leaves no room for wonder, curiosity, or growth. Faith, on the other hand, flourishes when we allow ourselves to live with unanswered questions and unresolved tension. Doubt, then, is not the enemy of faith, but its nourishment. It calls us into active engagement, deep listening, and willingness to participate fully rather than passively accept what is handed down. Here's another quote from Ernest Holmes. He said, "We may pass through good fortune and bad, but if we can come to the point where we are not disturbed by things, we have found the secret." So we often are tempted to keep our doubts hidden, especially within our communities of faith. We fear that revealing them might cause others to think less of us, or that our questions will somehow be seen as weakness or a lack of belief. And it's easy to assume that doubt makes us seem less than or unwise. Yet nothing could be farther from the truth. Doubt is not the opposite of faith. It's often the very ground in which faith takes root and grows. By exploring our doubts, we invite curiosity, humility, and deeper trust in our spiritual lives and our communities. We would do well to share our doubts as freely as we share our victories, knowing both can strengthen and sustain us. So this week, notice the parts of yourself that you guard. Ask yourself, what parts are you hiding? And why do you hide them? What might happen if you let the mask slip away? Challenge yourself to reveal something behind the mask, your true, authentic self. And I'll leave you with this final quote. Spiritual awakening doesn't always come in stillness. Sometimes it arrives when you dare to live vividly, love boldly, and walk barefoot into mystery. And that leads us to our affirmation for the week. I share all parts of myself, including my doubt, with grace. So now it's time for our news and updates at our center. If you are interested in learning more about the Science of Mind teaching, we do offer courses via Zoom as well as in person. So connect with me or check our website to find out the details. And there is a new survey for your input for upcoming courses. So please check that out and see if we can plan for those. And if you would like to have a one-on-one connection for spiritual mind treatment, please contact me so that we can arrange this. If you'd like to commit to being a member of the Center for Spiritual Living here in Puerto Vallarta, or if you would like to be on our board of trustees, then please contact me so that you can be sent the current forms. I'd also like to remind you to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as our Facebook page. And let me know if you would like to receive our weekly posts via Substack. This year, I will be once again attending the the Convention of the Americas in Lake Chapala, Jalisco, where I will be presenting a workshop. So I invite you to come and join me for a week in July in Chapala so that you too can enjoy a week of love, wisdom, and community. You can register online through the link www.conventionoftheamericas.org or contact me for further information. And now it's time for mindful giving and financial support of our spiritual home. We rely on your support to continue our center here in Vallarta so that we can continue offering this powerful teaching of the science of mind. We bless the financial gifts that you give today, no matter the amount. And donations can be made using either PayPal or Tithely through our website, www.cslpv.org. And you'll find the donate buttons on both the landing page as well as on the page where you find the replay of the weekly talks. You can still mail in paper checks by addressing them to CSLPV number 403, 2125 Birch Road, Kelowna, BC, V1Y8N1. And now please join me in our offertory affirmation. I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give and receive. I do give eternal thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. So thank you for coming and sharing this time together. And let's continue practicing peace each and every day. We can each be a force for peace and nonviolence. Our words and our actions create ripples of peace all around us and beyond. Peaceful living includes acting with compassion, kindness, and consideration. And it also includes standing up against injustice. Today, more than ever, we need to stand for peace. So hug your friends, your loved ones, and your neighbors. May peace and love be with you. Blessings. Namaste.